Hi lovelies, it's your girl Boosie and I'm back. I know it's been such a long time since I made my last vlog and I apologize for that. Just a lot has been going on in my life, a lot of good things, like just recently got a job, so just trying to balance that. But I'm back now and I promise to upload a bit more normally. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the vlog. So 2020, y'all. 2020, what a year was that, you know? Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, this is how I felt about it.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
And, oh my goodness, so many things happened with obviously the biggest thing being the pandemic, SARS-CoV-2, also known as COVID-19, also known as coronavirus, also known as the Rona, and just dealing with not only a pandemic but also people not giving a F about it. And then also the events that happened this summer with police brutality and Black Lives Matter. Also, the election happened this year. Just, whew. So pretty much this video is about, even though so much happened, you know, I think every one of us have probably faced challenges we've never faced before. This was a really big test of a lot of people's mental health and just getting through that. Anybody who got through 2020, like, I mean, everybody watching this got through 2020, and I just want to like just applaud you, because it really was a tough year. And I think I have learned so many things about myself this year that I haven't in other years. And so I just wanted to share all the things I learned and the things I'm going to carry into 2021, as well as some plans that I have for this upcoming new year. So here are 5 things that 2020 taught me. Okay, no, but seriously. Number 1. So I think one thing that I definitely learned is that although I like to be alone, and although I feel like I don't really need to like rely on others or need a shoulder to lean on, that I actually kind of do need to like rely on people more, and I don't like being as alone as I thought I did. So I think a lot of people who are loners or introverts, like people who can get their energy from just being by themselves, they can kind of relate. Sometimes you just get so wrapped up in just being by yourself, and then all of a sudden, like before you know it, you're kind of like in this deep dark pit of like loneliness and sadness, and you don't even know how you got there. And I think especially during the beginning of the pandemic, I went like months without physically seeing my friends, without physically seeing my boyfriend. It was really, really lonely, you know? And I realized I didn't have to be lonely, you know? I decided, you know, to reach out to my old friends and my newer friends and, you know, be more active and like try to be more active on our group chats and, you know, try to be more active on like social media, you know, just reaching out to people. And I think I mentioned this in a previous video, but, you know, just checking up on people and just taking that jump just to like text a little like, hi, how are you doing? What's up? I know like this pandemic's been a lot, but like, you know, so that is one thing that I definitely learned, and I think it's something I'm going to carry out in the future, because before the pandemic I was like this too. I would get just so wrapped up in being alone that all of a sudden I'd be so lonely, and it's not a good feeling. So I really do think this is something that people who are kind of like me can be more cognizant of, and just like realize like, okay, we do have people out there that we can like go to and talk to, you know, when things are getting tough. So yeah, that is definitely one thing I learned in 2020. One thing that I learned in 2020 is that social media can definitely, too much social media can definitely not be a good thing. I'm actually gonna make a video diving deeper into this topic, but like all the things I listed at the beginning of this video, like the pandemic, social issues, the US election, things like that, the amount of ignorance that comes out of social media, like I have never been exposed to so much vitriol, ignorance, and just flat out stupidity, you know? And I feel like there's only so much of it you can take. It was just affecting me so much. Like I realized that I was having like just feeling really hopeless in the world. I don't know, has anybody felt like that? Like I was feeling very like what's the point of it all, you know, when you have people who are so negative and so filled with hate, or who just don't want to listen to facts, you know? I was just like, what's the point? And also and also the other part of social media where the comparing yourself to others. I'm gonna talk about comparing myself to others a lot on this channel because to me it happens a lot. So there's one part of social media that I can't stand because of like ignorance, but there's another part I can't deal with because it's not good for my own mental health. I am so happy for all my friends and acquaintances and people in my past who are doing really well in life. So don't get me wrong about that. But sometimes it makes you kind of look at your own life and make you feel like, what am I doing with my life? Not knowing that you're doing so much with it. So I think moving into 2021, I'm definitely going to, I don't want to say completely give up on social media, but kind of change that relationship. So yeah, definitely not only taking a break from social media, but just changing how I use it in a bit, because to just like absorbing so much different content, so many different opinions, it's not good for me personally. It's not good for my mental health. And honestly, I'll just be in bed all day, just lying down, not doing anything, when there are other things I could be doing. So I think just stepping away from it will do me really good. And I think it would actually do a lot of people really good. So think about it. But yeah, like I said, I'll make another video diving deeper into that topic. So yeah. The third thing that 2020 taught me was that I definitely need to rest more and definitely need to incorporate more self-care into my routine. So I would say between 2018 and 2019, I just completely fell off when it came to like self-care. Especially let's say 2019, I wasn't doing my hair at all. I was just like, honestly, my hair got so bad that like when I went to the hairdresser, like it was just like falling out because I just was not doing it. And there were reasons why I wasn't doing it, but like, I don't know. And then I didn't even have a skincare routine, nothing. I don't know, I wasn't doing things. I wasn't pampering myself. And then on top of that, I had grad school. So it was just kind of like, I felt like all I was doing at a time in my life was like, you know, school, work, sleep. School, work, sleep. You know, I wasn't really focusing on anything else. And then the pandemic happened, and because we didn't have to go back to school anymore, and it was my last semester, so I wasn't taking as many classes, and I was a commuter, so I would have to commute 50 minutes to school. Not having to do that anymore, just being at home, it really made me realize like, you know, I want to feel good about myself again, you know? So like once I was able to, you know, start doing school from home, I was and not having to commute so much for like school and work, I realized like, okay, there's some things that I need to do to make myself feel good. So, you know, I started getting back into hair, you know, I looked up all these different natural hair YouTubers. I even learned how to cornrow and braid my own hair. Like, I'm telling you, this was like the time just to like learn different things when it came to just like self-care. I like looked up different things on like skincare through, you know, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Like I have like a whole bunch of like new skincare things over there, and my skin has been looking flawless. I also got back into makeup, so sometimes usually I do my makeup just if I have an occasion, but not just, you know, going in there in my makeup bag and just experimenting. That's really nice. Or even simple things like, you know, cleaning my room, making sure my environment is good, clean, lighting a candle. I don't know, something about lighting a candle just puts me at ease. But you know, there's just so many different ways to like have self-care, and I'm telling you, anything that helps you mentally, physically, just do it, you know. Even though I am still busy, I have still found a way to make sure that I'm always doing something as it relates to self-care. So yes, definitely another thing I learned about myself. So the fourth thing that I learned this year is that I am definitely more capable of things than I even thought I was. So one thing about me is sometimes I have a hard time like believing in myself and thinking that, you know, I have the strength to do certain things. I always think like I'm not capable of doing things, and I'm not capable of like reaching my dreams, and I don't know, it's just always been a weird nagging thing at the back of my mind. And I can't say what it, well actually I can. And I think the thing about 2020 that taught me this was, one big thing was finishing my thesis and graduating. I did tell you in my grad school video that grad school was really tough for me. One thing I was not looking forward to was my thesis. I found it very late, and the whole thing was very intimidating to me. And when I started, I couldn't imagine finishing it. And the same thing with grad school. I was just like, at one point I was so over it, you know, that I didn't want to go to grad school anymore. And let me tell you guys, like, 2020 really taught me that anything that I put my mind to, I can accomplish, and to never doubt myself again. Not only did I finish my thesis, it's possibly even going to be published. So, you know, I'll let you guys know about that. And then I graduated, which was nice. And then on top of that, I found a really nice job that I actually really like. I've just been doing so many different things, and I realized that I am up to the challenge. And I do have a tattoo on my right wrist, and it says I can do all things. It's from Philippians 4:13 in the Bible. The whole Bible verse is I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And that was a Bible verse that really got me through the tough times, that like I can do all things. So, and I think that's something a lot of people probably after 2020 realized, was that they are a lot stronger. It can deal with a lot more than they thought they could, because we got thrown so many hard balls this year. And like I said, if you're watching this video, that means you made it through 2020. And like I said, give yourself a clap on the back, because getting through every year, especially a year that was so hard for people, like, you should feel so proud of yourself, you know, and that you can keep doing it, you know. It's gonna be so hard, but just remember all the tools you learned last year and just keep carrying them on through the next year. So the fifth thing that 2020 taught me was to just give myself grace. And I think it was the accumulation of everything I learned this year. If you listen through all the lessons, you know, like I talked about comparing myself to other people, being more capable of doing things. And I think at the end of the day, I just realized that I am so hard on myself, and I feel like we always feel like we need to be at a certain place in life, or we need to be hitting certain goals, or else like we're not doing enough, or we're not enough. And I think that's the biggest injustice we can do to ourselves. One thing I've learned is that everybody has their own path, everyone has their own journey. I think 2020, it gave me the time to kind of just self-reflect and wonder like why I'm always so hard on myself. And once I realized what was going on, I realized that I'm doing fine, you know, like I'm doing fine. I had to tell myself that. And I think that's something we just have to keep reminding ourselves, like just keep telling ourselves like we are okay. This is the path we're supposed to be taking, not looking at anybody else's path, but our own. And so please just don't like be so hard on yourself. Please don't beat yourself up over things that A, you can't change, or B, that is supposed to happen to you in your life. And because of the things that I've learned this whole year, like I said, there were some really rough times, but I wouldn't trade it because this was supposed to happen. So yeah, just definitely giving myself grace in everything I do. So please leave in the comments below some of the things you learned in 2020 and some of the intentions you have for 2021. I really hope some of these lessons help people, or maybe we learn the same things too. Like I said, 2020 was rough, but crossing our fingers, 2021 will be a better year. Thank you so much. Yeah, and like I said, I promise to be better at uploading more. Like I said, I try to upload on Sundays, so we'll try to keep that schedule at least. So thank you so much for tuning in. Until the next one, my lovelies. Bye.